What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Blur. Yes, indeed, how about that? Blur making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bobbity-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, well then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Archdemon, and Archdemon wanted to see me react to this song by Blur called Charmless Man. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by what? Irunarak. Dear Lord.
You kidding me?
Okay, this was posted by Irunarak. Wow. And the video has 1.3 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Blur, the best of, okay, Charmless Man. So I guess this track came off of like a best of compilation. That'd be my guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Crowded room where people go to drink away their gloom. He sat me down and so began the story of a charmless man, educated the expensive way. He knows his Clara from his Beaujolais. I think he'd like to have been running cray, but then nature didn't make him that way. He went na 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 na. He thinks he's educated as those family shows will protect him, will respect him. He moves in circles of friends who just pretend that they like him. He does the same to them, and when you put it all together, there's the model of a charmless man. He knows the swingers and their cabaret, says he can get in anywhere for free. I began to go a little cross-eyed, and from this charmless man I just had to hide.
Are they doing anything wrong? No. No, they're not doing anything wrong. from a songwriting standpoint, they're doing absolutely nothing wrong. Actually, I gotta kind of give them props a little bit. Their chordal progressions are interesting. They're not predictable. Like you could feel a repetition coming. You know, they repeat it once. Yeah, they play a progression. They go back and play the same progression. Now you're thinking they're gonna do that again, right? Wrong. They go into a different progression, even a different starting point, but they'll always make it resolve. It's interesting. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm blown away by it because I've heard other bands do this, you know, thousands of times, but they're doing it well. Everything they're playing makes sense. It's not what you would expect, but it sounds good and it flows well. So I got no issue with the songwriting whatsoever. Vocally, I don't know. Maybe these guys are an acquired taste. I don't know. And I'm sure it's being done on purpose. I'm sure it is. The vocals just have a very, how should I put this? A very childish quality to them. Yeah, I don't mean in an immature way. I mean in a delivery way. Like, okay, here we go. If you were to take the pitch and move it up, not an octave, but if you were to take the pitch and move it up about a fourth to a fifth, somewhere in there, you would swear kids are singing this. You would swear it. It's in the delivery approach, in the, not so much what they're singing about, but how they're saying it. And I'm not saying they're immature. That's not it. It's like, okay, it sounds like they're trying to sound like children. That's what it sounds like. They're not children. They're not acting like children, but they're singing the songs, they're singing the words as if they were trying to pretend to be kids. So, I don't know, man. That's how it's coming off to me anyways. I don't know about that. Now, here's the thing. There is a certain charm that goes with that. There's a certain element of a type of charm that goes along with that. And I could see how this song could be popular. I don't know when this song was released. I have no idea. It sounds like late 90s, early 2000s. That's what it sounds like to me. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know. I have no idea. But it sounds more leaning toward the early 2000s, like somewhere between 2000 and 2008, somewhere in there. I feel like this song could probably fit in that vein. And I'll bet you this song might have been really popular with kids, high school kids, college kids, college radio, absolutely college radio, coffee house rock. I can see that. I can see this being in there. You walk into a Starbucks, and I can see this song being played. I can absolutely see it. Like I said, there's a certain charm there. There absolutely is. And if you know how to work that charm, you could definitely attract a certain demographic. Maybe several. Personally, am I a fan of it? No, I'm not. But I mean, like I said, are they doing anything wrong? No, they're not. I'm personally not really digging this a whole lot. Anyway, let's we're almost done. We got a minute and a half to go. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review.
He talks at speed, he gets no sleep, he doesn't see his days are tumbling down upon him, and yet he tries so hard to please, he's just so keen to listen, but no one's listening, and when you put it all together, there's the model of a charmless man.
1 to 2 to 5 to 4 back to 1. Okay, now.
He thinks he's educated as those family shares. Well,
right there. That I swear that would be kids singing that. But I can see how it can be attractive to a certain demographic. Yeah, I can see the appeal. I see it. It doesn't appeal to me, but I see the appeal. You know, there's going to be certain demographics that are going to hear this and go, "Oh, I love it." I see it. I do. I am not in that demographic. Do not count me among their numbers, but I see it. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Okay, I'll say this. It's not going to be in the negative scores. It's going to get at least a 5.0. We're going to be in the positives, 5.0 or higher. So we're not going to be under 5. So we're going to be in the, we're going to be okay. I don't know where we're going to end up. I'll just throw this out there. I don't think it's going to be in the 9s. You want this to be in the 9s?
You fool!
Yeah, okay, sure thing. You listen, it's everybody should have dreams. Absolutely. You know, dreams are important. Gosh darn it. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Blur with Charmless Man. This was a request from Archdemon. Okay. Good news. We are in the positives. Okay. So everybody who is, on the edge of their seat waiting with bated breath, is he going to hate it? No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I have no reason to hate it. But at the same time, for those of you that are going, oh, I hope he gives it a 9. Are you serious? A 9? No, no chance. No, it's not a bad score. It's not. It's in the positives. You'll see what I mean. And believe it or not, it might be higher than some people might think. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 6.2. Yep, 6.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 6.2. What does that mean? Well, a 6.2 would translate to a pretty good skill rating, so overall, believe it or not, I think this was actually a pretty good song. It would get 3 out of 5 stars and a B- letter grade. Yeah, let that one sink in for a second. That's B as in boy. Yeah, B-. So there you go, a 6.2, pretty good skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars and a B- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Did they do anything wrong? No. Looking at the song from a songwriting standpoint, let's look at the chordal progressions. Now, some of the chordal progressions, well, okay, let's be honest here. All of the chordal progressions, very simple, very easy to follow, but not predictable. For example, 1 down to the 6, up to the 1 down to the 6. Now you would think we would go back up to the 1 again and go to the 6 again. Wrong. If you thought that, you'd be absolutely wrong. Instead, we would go up like to the 2, to the 5, to the 4, down to the 1. Interesting. I mean, it's not predictable. It's not what you would think would flow. Normally, it's not what you would think would flow well. But you know what? It sounded good. It did. It did flow well. It was pleasing to the ear. I like that. Believe it or not, I do. I like it when chordal progressions flow, but they're not predictable. You know, it was a nice touch, man. The 2 in there to the 5 to the 4 to the result to the 1. You know, I could see maybe from the 1 down to the 6, up to the 4, up to the 5, resolve to the 1. That would sound just as good, probably, but this took a little different turn. This took a little different path. It took the scenic route, if you will, and it sounded nice. It was very pleasing to the ear. Catchy, yeah, absolutely. Definitely had a little bit of a poppy element to it. I think that might have been coming more from the guitar tone than the notational selection. Guitar tone was very twangy, even with the distortion. It's a light distortion, but distortion nonetheless. Still very high up on the treble, really giving it that twangy sound. It fit the song. It fit the context of the song without question. I was trying to imagine this song with, like thick distorted guitar. No. That's gonna sound like a horror show. That's gonna sound like nightmare fuel right there. No, I don't think that would work at all. I could be wrong, but I'm just trying to imagine in my head, and no. So having that twangy guitar style definitely lent itself well. Bass was in there in the mix, holding down the bottom end, filling out the sound. I like that. The synthesizer, a nice contrast to the twangy guitar. I like that. That contrast actually worked really well. The charm was definitely there for that. The pacing of the song, the drive and the energy, very straight ahead. Had a laid back feel to the song, but nothing as far as playing with feel. It was straight time the whole time. Snare on the 2 and 4. We never switched up to double time or half time. It was just a straight ahead song. Nothing wrong with that. Lots of bands have had a lot of success following that formula. The vocals. Okay. Here's where I wouldn't say issues from an objective standpoint, but me personally, I was not a fan of the vocal work, man. I wasn't. It's not because they were doing anything wrong. It was just stylistic. Like I said, I made the comparison to, this sounds like, children singing. If you were to change the pitch of the vocals, a fourth or a fifth, I would swear that these were kids singing this song. And not what they were singing, but how they were singing it, how they were vocalizing. Not from a notational standpoint, but from a what am I looking for? From a performance standpoint. I can see the appeal. I can't. I'll bet when this song was released, this song was probably a big hit with kids in high school, maybe college. This is very college radio. Man, you could go to any college campus that has their own radio station, and I guarantee you they're playing this. This is in the rotation somewhere. I guarantee it. Yeah, I can see it. I can totally see it. And listen, that's not a bad demographic to attack. It's not. Think about all the colleges that are out there and how many have radio stations. You're going to get radio play, which exposes you to a lot of people and a lot of new listeners potentially. A lot of people go, oh, who's this? This is interesting. I like this. I better stick around and listen for the DJ to come on and say who this is. And then we find out who it is, and then they go and they investigate. They go on Google and they look up the band. Oh, Blur. Okay, this is the band. And that song, Charmless Man. Found it. It's on this album. Let me go order that album. Let me go buy that album. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? You found a demographic. You attack the demographic. You make it work for you. Absolutely. And I see them having success. Look, 1.3 million views. Okay, so obviously the song has some wheels under it. You know what I mean? But the vocal performance on this really, it works for them. But for me personally, it works against them. I wasn't the biggest fan of it necessarily. Now, again, like I said, did they do anything wrong? No, they didn't do anything wrong. Just me personally, my own personal taste, not a fan of the vocals. But I like the usage of the harmonies in the background harmonies. When the lead line was being harmonized, the tone, not the notation, but the tone was a little grinding. Wasn't the biggest fan of it, but the backing vocals behind them going up into the registers, that actually was kind of catchy. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad. They didn't do anything wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend like I'm blown away by it, because I'm not, but it's a very simplistic song, but it's done well. So yeah, 6.2. I feel good with that score, believe it or not. I actually, believe it or not, I thought for sure we would be down in the fives. I thought we were destined for like a 5.6, 5.7, 5.8. But no, we ended up in the sixes. Like I said, they didn't do anything wrong, so I can't knock them for it. 6.2, I feel good with that score. I feel that's the score that they deserve for this song, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 6.2, which is a pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope that was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.